first of all, can you tell us a little bit about your futsal journey? So where did it begin?
It started about 8 years ago. My uncle had been looking into the game via videos and internet clips, and kind of started a league up in Wiltshire from where I'm from. And I kind of just entered the team, knew nothing about the game, and kind of just got playing there, went from tournament to tournament, and got picked up in the FA Cup in Sheffield that summer.
Wow. And so in terms of you becoming an international, how did that come about? Was that just through you playing and then getting picked up?
Yeah, I mean, we played a regional qualifier up in Birmingham before we went to Sheffield, and some guy, I can't remember his name, came up to me and said, I'm going to put your name forward to the England manager, and you kind of just, you know, hear these things and never anyone take up anything upon it. And then we went to Sheffield, and the same guy came up to me after the final in the plate competition and said, oh, the England manager's watching, I would expect a phone call. About 2 months later, I had a phone call, a voicemail saying, I'm in Izmir in Turkey in 2 weeks, can I make it? And obviously I said yes, and I've been playing ever since.
Wow, that sounds fantastic. I mean, that's like, you know, a childhood dream for many. You know,
I mean, absolutely, yeah. Playing for England, like, it's a massive thing for me, and it was a bit weird because obviously futsal, I didn't know too much about it myself when I first started playing, so it's kind of a little bit of didn't know what to go into, but it's been a fantastic experience ever since that first game in Turkey.
Oh, brilliant! You know, you said that you didn't know too much about it. Do you think that's still the case then now?
No, absolutely not. I think since my first game as an England player, you know, the knowledge of the game and the you know, the demand of the game in this country is increasing every year, which is great for me because you know, when I first started playing, I used to come back from a trip with England. People say, "What is it? What is futsal? What is it?" You know, and we never won a game before, and we were getting beat 10-12-0, and you got kind of laughed at. But now when we come back, people are kind of aware of what the game is. And you go to the hotel or the airport, and people are aware what futsal is. So it's great.
Oh, that's fantastic. So the profile, you'd say, of futsal in this country, it's definitely a lot better than it was before.
Oh, 100%, 100%. Like I said, people didn't know what futsal was when I started playing. And now, like, our next game against Sweden, we've got over 1,000 people coming to watch. That's kind of where we're at. It's fantastic what the people have done in England, making futsal, you know, a better game. It's really working.
Oh, that's excellent. Yeah, Colin and I actually will be at the game, so hopefully we'll catch an interview with you there as well. We're looking forward to that.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah. I just wondered. I mean, would you obviously you were doing some kind of football before you done your futsal? I mean, what standard was you playing before?
I mean, just before I started playing futsal, I just left Bristol City as a scholar up to 18, and then I went into pro, so 7 league area. I was playing for Manchester at the time, and now I'm still at level playing for different towns. So that's the kind of level. When I first started playing, that was the level of players that were in the squad. There was no futsal players. It was all non-league football players playing futsal. Where now the difference is, apart from 1 or 2 of us, everyone's playing futsal. That's their main sport, which is great for the game and great for the squad.
Yeah, I had this discussion the week before, with Carlos about, you know, people taking their futsal seriously, basically. So you've chosen futsal now as your sport, basically. Yeah, so, I mean, I still play football on a Saturday, just to get me out of the house. But, you know, I enjoy futsal, and, you know, futsal was the biggest football over here. If I had to choose between, I'd go to futsal every day of the week, because it's so much more of an exciting game.
So who did, just for those who are listening in and perhaps are not so aware of futsal, who do you play for apart from England?
I play for Bristol City. So that's my club. I play for in the National League with the Midlands League. So it used to be Bath University, but we've just recently switched this season to Bristol City.
And before we do go on to Gavin and Jess, we've got lots of questions for you also. This goal of yours, right, this goal is all over social media. You've got to tell us about it. I tried a little rainbow myself. It didn't come off.
I can't actually believe the response this goal's got. A mate of mine who plays for England in Manchester, Stuart Cook, he's kind of, going on about it all the time. And I've never ever thought about doing it in a game. It's something that you mess around in training doing. And the ball just happened to fall at me, and I was running up to the keeper. And normally I either go around or just put it to the side.
Yeah. But
for some strange reason, I thought, let's just try it. And it happened, and it worked. And honestly, it's gone. I can't believe my Twitter's gone nuts.
Luke, sorry, Manish.
No,
I just have to ask you, what was the score at that point when you tried that?
We were like 10-6 up, so we had a little bit of a gap. But it was one of those games where goals were just going in. It wasn't a very futsal, a tactical game. So I kind of just thought, why not? What the hell, just go for it. And I could have either landed on my face first into the ground, or the ball goes in the back of the net. And luckily for me, it's gone in the back of the net.
And the keeper came off pretty much shortly after.
Yeah, I think he did. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't even click onto that until a few minutes later, and I thought, hang on, it's a different keeper. He tweeted me the next day saying, I'm getting so much abuse for this.
Oh gosh.
So I felt a little bit sorry for him, but now he's taken it in good spirits, and we've had a bit of a laugh about it. But yeah, it's one of these things. Like I said, I could have either landed face first on the floor and everyone laughed at me, or it goes in and you're a bit of a hero. So.
Oh, well, you are definitely a hero.
Absolutely.
You spoke about, because I find this really interesting about, so England's philosophy, and we talk about England as in the football, the national game, and then wanting to develop creative, imaginative players, but also those who are willing to take risks. And for me, as a coach as well, that's really important. So it's funny that you said that you had a massive goal difference, which is why you felt that actually I can take a risk, because what if the goal difference and that margin wasn't as wide? Do you think, I know there's more ifs, but do you think that you would have tried that, or do you think you perhaps would have gone for the safer option?
I think in that instance, I probably would have just given it a go, because the way I was feeling in the game, I felt we were always going to win the game. But if it was against a team where it's maybe 2-1 or 3-2, I probably wouldn't have, to be honest. But then I think that's where we need to encourage kids to try these things, because they're never going to know unless they try it.
No, definitely, I agree, that's true. Gavin or Jazz, have you got a question for Luke also?
Yeah, sure. Hi, Luke. I'm Jazz. I'd like to find out where England are on the international scene in terms of their ranking.
Yeah. So, like I said, when I first started playing, we were ranked about 128th in the world, which is kind of laughable, really. And the rankings don't necessarily true say of how you are in the world rankings, because some teams don't play games very, very often in a year, so therefore they don't lose points when they lose. Where we kind of play on a regular basis, really, compared to quite a lot of nations. And therefore, if we lose a game, our points go down, and therefore we lose places in the system. But this calendar year, we went up about 29 places in the world, which was more than any other country. And so therefore we're around about 60th now, I think. So from where I started to where we are now, it's a great achievement.
Absolutely, that is a fantastic achievement. If you carry on doing what you're doing, then you can see yourself right out there with some of the best nations on the planet.
Yeah, and a lot of credit's got to go to Simon Walker, who runs the programme. Who's kind of been putting us up against teams in and around us in the world rankings. When I first started playing, we were playing teams that are maybe 50, 60, 70 places above us. And I mean, that's great, as a player to play against the big sides. But as developing your country and futsal in the game, it wasn't right. So as much as us players want to play against the Spains and the Brazils, they've kind of put us against teams where we can win them, so therefore we get the points, we climb up the rankings. And to make it easier, we get better seedings in the European and World Cup qualifying groups.
Right, and also, have you got a future generation of youngsters who are interested in futsal and, inspired by England's performance and want to get more involved and potentially one day represent the side?
Yeah, I think, you've got to look at the Football League programme that they run with the 16 to 18-year-olds, and that can only benefit. I think the most important thing is as we get the coaching right in those programs. You know, there's some great people doing some great jobs out there, and there's some people out there that, you know, maybe not know too much about futsal, and they've got a football background. It's getting that, developing the players in the right futsal way to help players actually come on and play in the National League, and then get into the development squad, and then come on the national squad. So the key is, I think there's a lot of players playing out there at a young age, but it's then developing and getting coaching right to give these players a chance of playing at the national level.
I'm from West London. My question is, I know that you very narrowly missed out on the main round of the Euros not too long ago. What's the next target for the England team, and how are you expecting or hoping to get on?
I mean, firstly, you know, the squad, we got to thank everyone for their support when we were over in Malta. It was great, and you know, we were very unlucky to miss out, you know, on goal differences and goals scored, because we really did play very, very well. But the next thing for us is obviously next weekend against Sweden. Can we go and win those games, and then to have a season where we've only lost one game all season would be a massive, massive achievement. And then obviously the main focus is the World Cup qualifiers in October. And then we really need to push on and get out of that group and get to the main round again. So that's our focus, I think, as a squad.
I mean, we spoke about this last week, Luke, about, you just suggested about a younger age group. And, you know, basically we're looking at something like under 12s going up. I think currently they start about under 16. Is that right? For the national side?
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Yeah, basically, I mean, we spoke with Carlos 2 weeks ago, and we were saying the same thing about, you know, getting a younger crop in and starting a lot earlier than leaving it, because grassroots is out there. They're all playing from 6 years old. If the kids start now, we had this conversation earlier basically about, you know, futsal being taken seriously from the age of, say, 10 to 12, you know, with mini leagues. So that would encourage the development for where you guys are. I mean, what's the average age of the team at the moment?
I mean, the average, it's a good question. I would say around 24, 25 in the national squad.
Yeah, that's not bad.
But going on to your point of getting young players, I think it's important. I think the key thing is to stop the 11-a-side or 9-a-side fixtures throughout the winter and get them inside. I mean, it is difficult getting facility hire. I mean, the National League clubs find it difficult. So, but I think that's the next step, really, is to get the kids playing futsal in the winter time, and just getting people aware of the games. You know, I think once they start playing, these kids, they love it because it's so quick. You know, they get lots of touches, so the kids are going to enjoy it. It's getting the parents or the committee members or the whoever's on the county FAs to change the way we develop these kids and get them in playing. I know academy level do it now over the winter and they play futsal programs, but the next thing is really to get the county FAs into futsal mode and get them playing futsal throughout the winter.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you there on that point, actually, about county FAs getting on board, because I work for at Middlesex County FA at their Centre of Excellence, and although I try and, I mean, that's football, and although I do lots of ball manipulation and things like that, but again, we're training on 3G, and we've spoken about facilities time and time again, and, you know, in an ideal world, we'd love to have an indoor facility, and then that comes with more cost margins, because it's, you know, I mean, Gavin's nodding his head, it's really expensive. But
yeah, and that is the key, isn't it? I mean, it's like I said, it's difficult for National League teams to hire a hall out on a Sunday afternoon. So to do it every Sunday for these kids teams is going to be difficult. But, you know, little by little, we're trying to get there. We're trying to push it. I know Simon at the FA is doing a fantastic job for the game, and I know he's got the best, you know, interest of the game at heart. So it's just little steps, and we will get there. I'm sure of that.
Yeah, no, 100% agreed. Just rounding up, Luke, tell us about how you're prepping for the international against Sweden.
How am I, sorry?
How are you prepping? How are you guys preparing for the international against Sweden?
Well, to be fair, we haven't met since we left the airport from Malta. So we're gonna meet up next Wednesday night. We're gonna train Thursday in the morning and the afternoon, and you know, get going. We've got kind of a good consistency now within the squad where you know, players are playing away from England on a regular basis. and we have a good, you know, the group's very strong. So when we get together, it's like a family basically. We're ready to go straight away. It's very, very strong in that respect.
Oh, it sounds fantastic, and you know, like I said earlier on, we're really looking forward to being at Copper Box and watching you guys.
Yeah, no, we're looking forward to it. You know, it's going to be a big crowd there, especially on the Saturday. A great way to celebrate a great season for us, and